Why are we in such stress? And how to cope? If you're constantly stressed or get stressed easily, your stress response may be overly engaged. Here's how to find relief. If you've ever thought, "Why am I always so stressed?" you're not alone. Stress is a natural and necessary part of life. It's a survival mechanism left over from the days when our ancestors were facing tricky terrain and hungry predators. But, more than 10,000 years later, we still use the same hard wiring to warn us when something is amiss. Your body doesn't always know the difference between a real threat and a challenge. And when stress becomes chronic, you may feel overwhelmed all the time. So, if you feel you're stressed all the time and don't even know why, it's possible your stress response is activated. Self-care strategies can help you reset the system and better cope with stresses. Stress is experienced when you face a stressful event and need to respond to it. The thing is that what may be a stressful event for you might not be for someone else. So, there's no one-size-fits-all definition of a stressor or stressful event or a single cause of stress. But research shows that when you feel a stressor is significantly greater than your ability to handle it, or when there are too many stresses at once, it can cause overwhelming distress and anxiety. This may lead you to become hypervigilant and prolong your stress response. In other words, you might be experiencing chronic stress. The stress response is associated with your autonomic nervous system, ANS. When activated because of a real or perceived threat, ANS sends a rush of stress hormones, like cortisol, through your body and activates the fight, flight, or freeze response. Once the threat has passed, your body engages the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as your rest and digest state, and you feel at ease again. But if the threat doesn't pass or you don't have the resources to cope with it, your body may stay in a state of heightened arousal. This chronic stress increases your allostatic load, cumulative effects of stress, negatively impacting multiple areas of your body. This may, in turn, make it more difficult for you to cope with everyday stresses, leading you to feel you're always stressed. Reasons why you may currently find yourself stressed all the time and not know why may include one or a combination of these. This isn't an all-inclusive list. Your personal circumstances and history are unique and could involve additional factors that could be activating your stress response. Stress exists on a spectrum. Positive stress or eustress may give you the push you need to accomplish your goals, for example. On the other end, chronic stress may lead to burnout. Burnout often occurs when chronic stress isn't addressed and uses up all your emotional, psychological, and physical reserves. Some people may naturally experience stress more intensely. Other people may have a set tolerance to stresses, and once that's reached, stress may be more difficult to handle. It's also possible that some of your habits may worsen your stress. Mental health conditions. Anxiety disorders and PTSD are two conditions that may activate the fire alarm in your brain, the amygdala, more easily and make you feel you're always stressed. Other conditions, like complex trauma or personality disorders, can decrease your distress tolerance and make emotional regulation more challenging. Emotion dysregulation could lead to more difficulty handling everyday stresses. Personality traits. A 2020 study found that those who measured high in neuroticism had a harder time coping than those with other dominant traits, like openness. Brain changes. A 2018 study showed that chronic stress can also reduce gray matter in your brain, a vital structure that helps regulate your emotions. This may make you more prone to hypervigilance and hyperactive stress response. Lifestyle factors. Research suggests you may find it more difficult to cope with stresses if you follow a less than optimal sleep routine and don't follow a nutrient-dense diet. There are short-term and long-term ways to cool down your nervous system if you feel you're always stressed. Try deep breathing. A 2019 systematic review found that diaphragmatic breathing, deep belly breathing, can engage the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest state discussed earlier. If possible, try box breathing. Try grounding exercises. Grounding exercises may help to bring you into the present moment, called mindfulness, away from worries about the past and future. If possible, try to take a break from the stressor and self-soothe with. Consider relaxation activities. Rest is just as important as results. Relaxation may feel like a guilty pleasure, but it can help your body and mind return to a state of balance. If you can, try to pencil in time for regular self-care and relaxation techniques. Try to maintain a balanced lifestyle. A balanced lifestyle can help to set you up for success.